What up? What up? What up? The time is 5:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're a little bit late, but hey, life happens, shit happens. But as always, we try to come in each and every Saturday. Square One Sports Talk Show where we talk about NFL and NBA topics only. What's going on, gentlemen?
Doing good, man. What's up?
I can't make no fuss. Let me see if I can tweet this out on Twitter.
Sorry about that. I'm
Okay.
doing well.
What was that? You sounded a little robot in that last part, Chris.
Chris, you still there? Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm sorry. At work, I got my radio going too. I'm checking something, but I'll be right back.
All right.
Cool.
I want to send this out on Twitter. I'm going to have a chance to do it. Give me 1 minute.
No problem. What's up, Caleb? What's up, Drop Shop? How you guys doing? Glad you can make it.
Yeah, thank y'all for coming now. We appreciate it.
Always appreciate the support.
Who won the thing?
The
verses.
I don't know. It was pretty damn close, to be honest with you. They actually brought out 3 6 Mafia brought out Terrence Howard. That was cool.
I saw that.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit. Terrence came out and did that Oscar-winning Hard Out Here for a Pimp.
Yeah.
But yeah. Huh?
Did it sound like he kind of mumbled the words a little bit, or was it just me?
A little bit. Towards the second verse, a little bit. Yeah. It looked like he forgot when to rap.
When to go on.
Yeah.
I don't think that was hers. That was spontaneous.
Yeah, but I didn't actually know. I wasn't sure if it was really him that rapped it, but after that, I'm like, okay, I guess it was you.
Yeah, I heard that he rapped it. I don't think he wrote it, but I think he rapped it.
No, he didn't write it. It's 3 6 Mafia wrote it. They won an Oscar for that.
Good deal. Neither one of those groups are really my favorite. Yeah, Grammy. Yeah. Did it win a Grammy or Oscar for the movie?
No, Oscar. It was an Oscar.
For the movie?
Yeah, for the movie. I know that, but he won for music in a film. They won.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, that's right. Yeah. That probably was a really good one because those two groups are really awesome.
Not my book, but
yo, Brizzy B though, his freestyle was on point, bro.
Which one is that?
That was the light skinned one that was fighting.
In the camouflage?
No. He was the light skinned one with the braids.
Okay.
He did a little freestyle. Well, it wasn't really freestyle. I think he was just rapping the lyrics to the song, but it was he killed that. He killed that part.
I like the female on 3 6 Mafia though. That sounded nice to me.
Yeah, she was nice too. But I know you like the other female though. Danny.
Oh yeah. Yep, 3 6 Mafia won in my book. Yeah, baby. I could stand a little bit more meat on the bone, but other than that,
yeah.
Okay. Y'all want to go ahead and do the picks first, or everybody gonna be here long enough to?
Let's go through this and see if Roberto comes in, and then we can do the picks.
Okay. All right. First topic is of course National Basketball Association. Let's see if I can find it. Strolling down, and there we go. Damian Lillard, C.J. McCullough, the backcourt for Portland Trailblazers. It is being said that as they are presently constructed, they will never, ever smell a championship. Now, some commentators, and especially in particular Stephen A. says that Damian Lillard is in a position now where he's going to get a max deal, I think $108 million, I think it is, if they sign the extension. Not sure what CJ is making, but it ain't too far off from that. Do you think that they should, while the market is good, take one of those guys and shop them out? Because right now, I think they lost their general manager. They got an interim general manager now. They're barely below 500. I think they're 500 or just below it. On the road, they're awful, like 2-11. I think on home they're like 10-1. So
I hate to say this, but they lost to the Spurs last night, and if you're losing to the Spurs, but you see the issue is whatever.
Couldn't even finish the comment.
I'm not even gonna say no more. But what I'm gonna say though is, I mean, yeah, I know he's gonna get a max contract, but he only gets that max deal is if he re-signs with Portland. You know what I mean? So that could be an issue there. But I don't know. There's a market for him. There are a lot of teams out there that will take him right now, man.
they're saying now there's two teams that he should be heading for. One is
San Antonio.
No, sorry. Philadelphia 76ers, because Ben Simmons kind of got them in limbo. Or the New York Knickerbockers, because
Oh,
New
hell
York,
no.
New York is still the top market for as getting merchandising, media, endorsements. New York is still the top market, and plus a lot of players want to play there because it is still, they believe it or not, it's still the mecca of basketball.
He don't want that. He want to win. He's not winning in New York.
They're saying now he can't attract nobody to Portland. Nobody wants to live in Portland because of opportunities that they don't get there. It's not a big market, a hot market. But New York, which is, and then he maybe can persuade some players to come there, kind of like how Kyrie did, Durant and Harden. So that's what's being talked now.
Who is it? I didn't hear you. What question was?
Should Damian Lillard stay there for them? Because Damian Lillard is saying, I want to stay here, retire here. But the team now is kind of saying, look, we only got maybe like 2 or 3 years left on his contract before he gets past age 35. Right now, he's hot. He's at the top of the selling market. But he wants to stay there, according to interviews and personal conversations Stephen A. said he had with him. So this goes back to what I said. Are they going to let him stay there and be loyal like people have said that they want teams in the basketball to go back to? Or should he say, hell with it, I'm looking out for me, I'm going to go play with my buddies and try and chase a ring? What do you think is the best choice?
Well, it depends on who has the say-so on it. Is it his say-so if he wants to leave, or is the team say-so?
The team has the ultimate say-so. He's already said and expressed that he wants to stay.
Yeah, well, you see, the team should, in this case, probably shop him around, probably pull him in and say, hey, dude, this is the long and short of it. If we can get something from you, we're looking at restarting. That's probably not what you want. You don't want to start from scratch. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to shop you around, see if we can find you someplace where you got a fighting chance to maybe compete. And that's how you start. Because it doesn't hurt to shop them around, see if anybody's interested, and then you go from there. I mean, that's the first thing right there. And no, the Spurs will not be one of those people who answer.
So you telling me because the team is not winning, it's okay if they're shopping around. But if he decides to go and say, I want to leave and I want to go with my players, and there's an issue with that.
No, not necessarily. I think the problems we have, that Anzo and I have, isn't so much a team leaving to go win as much as it's leaving with 5 other people going to one team. It's like, if he goes and he's like, I think this team's better, this is a little different. It's a one-off. It's like, I'm by myself. If we were to get into someplace like the Nets or the Lakers, okay, yeah, maybe there's another person in that team and people are like, yeah, I see they're building a super team. It's not quite the same as when you're literally talking about a player on a team going from team to team, finding the people he wants on his team and bringing them there. It's a little different when you're talking about a player who sees the writing on the wall that a team isn't invested in winning right this second, or is not going in the right direction. Like you said, when you lose a bunch of people on your staff and stuff like that, when all that happens, if he chooses to leave too, if he wants to leave, he goes to them and says, I want out. No, that's not the same thing. That's literally, I would never ask anybody to stay on a sinking ship. If you can get off the sinking ship, get off the sinking ship. And if right now, if that's what they have in their organization, which it pretty much looks like it, then yeah, he can cut and run. I don't have a problem with that.
DeMar DeRozan wanted to stay in Toronto too, and they did him dirty. So I think, especially for the team, if they want to get better, then yeah, they're gonna have to deal him, or one of the two.
Yeah.
So which is worse? If the team wants to get better and they cut the star player that's been carrying them the whole time. Kind of like the one owner who I've seen is very large to the players is the Dallas Maverick, Mark Cuban. He let Dirk Nowitzki stay there when Dirk Nowitzki should have been left, but he let him stay there. I think the same thing is going to happen with Djokovic. Is it Djokovic or?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He is just loyal to his players. So the question I'm asking is it okay for the team to use you till you're used up or about to be used up, or you seeing that, look, I've been here 10 years, we ain't even taste a championship. I want to play with two of my other players. I want to go to New York where it's a hot market to further my career, to further my legacy. And guess what? New York, I can call over and see whether or not Steph Curry want to come. I can call and see whether or not who else is good. Whoever you want to say, come to New York. So what's wrong with that? If the player initiates the trade and gets his teammates that happen to be good to play with him, because it seems like you have a problem with that. And I'm not quite understanding why.
You don't understand why we have a problem with the best players playing together?
Mm-hmm.
Because it kills the competition of basketball. Now you
Mm-hmm.
only have two or three good teams.
So why make those rules?
No, Danny.
No, why what?
Think of it this way.
Why make those rules?
Well, what do you mean? There are no rules.
Boring.
In the collective bargaining agreement, they gave the players certain provisions. The players are playing within the rules of the collective bargaining agreement. If not, they wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, but they can't though. They can't sit there and just like during the season and talk about, hey, let's team up together on this team. They can do that in the off season, but it's against the rules to do that.
I'm saying however they're communicating whenever they're supposed to. They get these super teams together, kind of like how Harden, Durant, and Kyrie. They did that whenever they did it.
Not Harden, but yeah, I hear you. But that's trash because now you got all the good players on one team. I don't care about players leaving teams. I don't care. They can leave teams, whatever. They can change teams, whatever. It's when they all start to get together to go and build this damn super team. That's where I have the issue.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's the difference if you see somebody on YouTube and they here, and they here, and they here, and they're all equal, and you approach them and say, hey, man, I like we do such and such and such. Yeah, I do too, man. I'm feeling you. And you go on YouTube and get another person. Then y'all create Geeks and Gamers Plus 2. What's the difference?
Because we're not competition with Geeks and Gamers.
YouTubers are in competition with each other. Maybe not as
Not necessarily. There's so many people out there to watch.
Yeah.
You think you're in competition with somebody? Listen,
you get to a certain level, I think you are.
There are trillions of people in the world, trillions, and the largest YouTube channel I think is like 40 billion or something like, I don't know, 40 million. I can't remember what 40 million subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
That's a drop in the bucket. still people out there, and there's people who watch 70 channels a day, and that's all they do. It's like it's not the same thing when you're talking about how many teams are there now in the NBA? 30.
32.
Yeah, 30. 30. Okay, well, okay. That's a bigger difference because now you're talking about a set number of teams, and in your analogy, a set number of
players.
Well, a set number of YouTube channels. So if you had, let's say, we are only giving the right to 40 people to have 40 channels, and that's all YouTube is ever going to have. Then yes, you can start saying that if, let's say tomorrow, they tell all of us, hey, by the way, guys, we're shutting down every channel except for 40. And you have to, we're going to have one person in charge of each channel, and they're going to pull people in. We're going to have a draft of YouTubers. And that's how it starts. The next year, you get, if you think Jeremy and Geeks Gamers is a big guy, you got him, Nerdrotic, Doomcock, whatever. You do all of that. And then you say, hey, here you go. Where all three of these guys are going to one place. Then maybe you're talking about the same thing. But you're not talking about the same thing when you're talking about millions of things compared to 30.
Okay. All right. Next category. Chris Paul, now the starting point guard for Phoenix Suns. It is being said that his name should be mentioned in the MVP conversation. If you go down to MVP or people that should be considered, he's in the top 5. His numbers are just slightly off from what is the coach of the Brooklyn now? Steve Nash. Steve Nash won it back to back. Right now, Chris Paul numbers are slightly off. I think Steve Nash had like 17 points and 11 assists. Chris Paul got like 16 points and 10.5 assists. So do you think it's a fair assessment that Chris Paul should be mentioned at this point in time in the season as being an MVP candidate? Whoever wants to start first.
It depends on what other players are doing. Steve Nash may have had those great numbers in the season, but was anybody else really outshining him? I think Steph Curry is outshining him. If you want to put him in the category, there's no problem. But I think Steph is right now lead runner for that, unfortunately.
Yeah, you had to throw that in, didn't you, boy?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. But did you hear he had like the worst shooting night?
Yeah. But he made that up last night when he played Phoenix.
I don't know about last night. I didn't watch last night.
Yeah, I watched it last night. He spanked their ass.
What was the question?
Chris Paul.
Uh-huh.
Chris Paul, his numbers are slightly lower than Steve Nash, where Steve Nash won the MVP of the NBA season back to back. The question is being asked: could he be in the conversation, or should he be in the top 5? If you pick top 5 players now, should Chris Paul be in that top 5? Because his number, like Chris, if I'm not mistaken, Steve Nash scored like 17 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists that year he won it, and right now Chris Paul is like 16 points, 10.5 assists, I think 2 or 3 steals a game. So the question is, should he be considered? Should he be in the conversation or MVP?
I mean, there's no reason why it shouldn't be or should. I mean, so yeah, I mean, I guess so. But I mean, it's not over. So I mean, you know, you can tank, and then that whole all changes.
A lot of people are salty about Steve Nash winning that, especially Shaq. I believe Steve Nash beat Shaq out 1 year for it. And if you listen to interviews or when they on the round table,
but
that kind of sticks in there.
Shaq always salty. Shaq always salty about something.
Yeah, I'm just saying he's salty about that.
Yeah, Shaq always salty about something, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Always something.
I've never really been a fan of Chris Paul. I know that he's the ultimate floor general and that he can control a game and he's like the extended coach on. I give him all his props, but I never just really. He seemed to come off as nasty to me, or chip on the shoulder. And I'm not saying he's a bad player, because I would be lying, but he's just not somebody I want to watch or somebody that I cheer for. But if his numbers, if his numbers are up there, then I definitely think he should be considered. I mean,
I know there's a lot of players in the NBA that don't like Chris Paul.
uh,
Like he's like one of the most hated in the NFL. Well, I wouldn't say the most hated player, but
yeah,
a
but
lot of players don't like him.
yeah, I heard he can do some dirty stuff and say some dirty. So I mean, I don't
Right.
know.
Because he was also part of the players union, right? And
He's
I
the
think that's
president of the
so
players union.
yeah, and I think that's where he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I do believe so too, sir. Okay, next topic. The King. The King is pissed again. I don't know what's going on with the NBA, but I'm telling you, man, they're kind of like riding LeBron. It's my understanding that he was at a game, and I think before the COVID protocols, they're gonna take a test or whatever, and it came back a what do they call it, a positive negative or a negative positive or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It came back positive, so I don't think he was allowed to play the game if my facts are correct, or if he did play and they found out, they flew him back on a private jet
Mm-hmm.
back to LA. Well, there he began to took a series of tests. I want to think he took like maybe 2 tests a day for a week, and he was passing all the tests. All the tests came back negative. But I think it cost him a couple of games, and he's wondering like, man, why am I gonna take all these tests? Man, they'll say I took the test that came back positive. Well, I think it was a false positive, what they call it. He came back
Mm-hmm.
positive. Then he went back home to, I guess, the NBA doctors. His doctors took 2 tests a day for a week, and then they finally, I think he said something on Instagram about something sounds fishy or smells fishy or something. But it
Mm-hmm.
looks like the face of the NBA is getting, can be harassed, picked on, or he's under the spotlight now because he just came off a suspension. His team is not winning any games without him. Right now, Lakers are, I think, just under 500, and now this right here, they seem to be like whatever way they can to mess with him. They seem to be messing with LeBron. So, do you think that the LeBron era is about to be at a close, or is it people? Are we worried about something that's really doesn't have a need to be worried about?
I don't know. I think people might be getting fed up with LeBron, but I don't know if it's over. His play will take care of that, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's, young bucks are coming in. I think the NBA is about the young bucks now.
Well,
John Morant's and all those guys right now.
Yeah. Go ahead, Chris.
can you guys hear me? Okay, I just want to make sure you can hear me. I'm sorry. This about okay. Say it again because I got kicked out there for a minute. This about LeBron? He said.
LeBron seems to be getting what people say to be the face of the franchise. He seems to be getting kind of picked on, his words being used, because he just came on a suspension, off of his suspension. He just, I think he was tested positive for a COVID test he did in one of the games. I want to think Portland maybe. So they flew him back home on a private jet. Then for twice a day for a week, he got tested. All the tests came back negative, but they still wouldn't let him play because I guess understand if it comes back positive, you got to sit out X amount of days. I want to think 14 days. If your tests come back negative, and especially taking 2 a day, then the NBA protocol should have let him come back much sooner. But they gave him like an extended 2 or 3 days, and he's kind of made a complaint about that. So it seems like they're kind of harassing the so-called franchise player of the NBA. So my question was, is the LeBron era and this honeymoon that the NBA has had with LeBron is coming to an end, or are we worrying about something that's probably going to work itself out?
Well, I'd like to say it's not coming to an end. I mean, not for another season or 2, maybe, but it is somewhat suspect. All the crap going on this year. I mean, the last year. I mean, I remember when Jordan left. There was rumblings about gambling and other things, and his affairs and some other stuff going on. I mean, I'm just saying there's a bunch of stuff, and it just kind of quietly went away. And this might be somehow the NBA just kind of trying to hit a refresh button, maybe. But if he has an issue, if he really thinks something's fishy, then he should be going to the players' union and saying, "Hey guys, this is really ridiculous. Listen, I tested twice a day, negative, kept coming up negative. Something's wrong here because." I mean, any player wants to play with their team. They want to be on the team. They want to play. But in his case, this could come down to that if you can show something where the NBA or group of teams is literally trying to keep him out of the game because they realize that the Lakers don't have as much of a chance without him, that's collusion. If there's some sort of collusion going on here, that's the bigger story right there. So if he thinks something's going on, he should be putting it to the NBA's Players Association and see what they get. I don't think it's over. He can still play. I mean, I think he's got, like I said, another year, 2, maybe 3 good years in him. Now, years in LA, I'm not sure. But I don't think it's over. But if he has an issue, if he really thinks something's going on, then he needs to formulate a plan to go and have somebody figure out what's going on. Because I agree, if you're testing daily and getting negative tests, I think after the second, maybe the third day, you can look at them and say, "Listen, it's been negative every time, folks."
Well, I agree with you on that. I don't know if the honeymoon is going over. I don't know if the LeBron era is over, but I don't think that he got 3 more seasons in him. I think he'd be 37 this year, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 38. I don't know if he's going to play at the same level because right now he's doing the minutes. They're
What's on your pizza?
They're monitoring his minutes and stuff. So I'm not sure. LeBron, the length of time he's played and at the high level he's playing is a testament to his fitness and his commitment to eating right and doing the right things. But I don't know if he's going to be able to maintain what the media and what the fans have grown accustomed to seeing him play. So I think
you're right, because even Donnie, his injuries are becoming a lot more. Like every year he's getting injured now.
Yeah, more frequently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they got to do that load management like they're doing to preserve him. And I would just tell the fans, "Hey, look, you might see him. You come during the regular season, you might not, but I would save him for the playoffs because that's where they're going to need him more if they're able to make it." Right now, they're in the spot now where they have to, what they call it? It's a different thing. Where they let the wild card to get into the playoffs. They're in that position now. So
play-in?
Yeah, the play-in. They got to do the play-in, which I don't like that play-in crap, but I guess they're going to that now.
That's the NBA tournament style.
So right now they're in the play-in position. So he got to improve their rankings in order to get out of that. I don't know whether he'll be able to do it now because seems that whenever he's not playing, they just can't seem to get a win.
It's Westbrook, man.
You think so?
Yeah.
Westbrook's poison to teams, man.
I don't want to say that, but I think he can play with one superstar. I don't know if he can play with 2. And right now they legitimately got 2 superstars.
I know you don't want to say it, but the history of where he's been at right now, it shows that he's like poison, man.
Okay. All right. Next topic. Memphis Grizzlies. These cats, earlier this week, they beat a team by 73 points. Who was the team they beat by 73?
The Thunder.
Yeah, OKC. This is NBA history. No one has ever beat somebody in that large margin. It was like 159 to 70 something. It was ridiculous. And they did it without their star guard, Ja Morant, because he's out with a knee injury. So does that coach, that team that got beat by 70 points, they need to fire him? Or is it the players?
If they have another when I say big loss, I mean if you have this big of a loss, and then you have, let's say, a 30
Now they
loss.
now they got a 50 something loss earlier this season, which made
Then
history.
yeah, you start looking at something, because when you get those big numbers and loss and you're losing effort, that's pretty bad. I mean, every dog has his day. You got teams sometimes. I mean, I don't know if when you play pickup basketball, you'll be shooting and everything goes in. You feel really good about it, and people dish you the ball. You're good. Everything's great. Those days happen in the NBA, but you're still a professional basketball team. You shouldn't be losing by 50 or 73 or 40. I mean, 20 should make you feel bad.
Yeah. So
Nowadays, especially nowadays, especially in the NBA, it is designed to keep the game close. The rules are there to make the game close.
I don't know, because
Well, I'm not saying it's always like that. I'm just saying that it lends itself to a more entertaining product. And when you're not able to compete, and literally, I mean, be honest, if you lose by 30 points, you're having a hard time competing. Double that, 60, 73, that number right there, that isn't even competing. That's like you sat on the freaking bench for 3.5 or 3/4 of the game.
I tell you this: if I was that Thunder coach, everybody on that team would be on the trading block today. You're gone. You're gone. You're gone.
But the sad thing about it, he probably gonna be gone.
The coach,
Yeah,
the coach or the owner,
yeah, the coach. The owner gonna be gone. The coach be
No,
gone.
the coach gonna be gone.
The coach or the GM gonna be gone.
But who do the Thunder really have, though?
I don't know. I couldn't name the first person on the Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to transition into MFL. I like to always change my little logo.
Mm-hmm.
Where you at, football logo? There you go. Boom, first down. And the first question in NFL will be Antonio Brown and the bad man Aaron Rodgers. Antonio Brown did something, in my opinion, that is quite similar to what Aaron Rodgers did as it pertains to the COVID. His honesty, his upfrontness. A little different, but to me, I think he was given a harsher penalty. Now, as we know, Aaron Rodgers led people to believe that he took the vaccine and he broke the NFL protocols. And I'm being told, I listened to a interview today while I was driving, working, and they were saying that the NFL knew that Aaron Rodgers didn't take it. They knew that. I didn't know that. According to Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp on a recent show, say that
I think they did.
so they knew they didn't do it, but see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil kind of thing. Now this Antonio Brown was rented out by a chef. I think he went to a restaurant or somewhere and ran up this large bill and didn't want to pay it. The chef was like, "Look, man, you owe me $2,500." And I guess I heard he tried to make several attempts through Antonio Brown's people to get him to pay. Didn't do it. So somehow this chef knew that he, I guess, had a fake vaccination card. So he blew the whistle. Come to find out, he didn't have it. And then what they're saying is that if we got these two seals on there, there's a seal from federal seals. It should be on these vaccination cards. And if you try to do anything fraudulent or try to do anything for as doing, that's where I'm looking for counterfeit, that you can be looking at federal crimes and up to jail for 7 years. Now, I don't think they're going that far, but he has been suspended for the next 3 games. Shannon Sharp said that's too light on him, that he should have been suspended for the rest of the season. My thing is, okay, Aaron Rodgers did this, and they gave him 1 game. So I guess if you do say progressively more severe, Antonio Brown got 3 days, but it seems like, okay, the penalty or the punishment is not equal. I haven't heard anything about him getting a fine. Now he's gonna lose his game checks, but I haven't heard anything about a fine or criminal charges. Now, my question is, do you think that they're showing favoritism towards Aaron Rodgers because I guess he is more popular, more liked quarterback position? Do you think Antonio Brown penalties is not severe enough, too severe, adequate? Whoever wants to go first.
It's a little different. He bought a fake vaccination card. We didn't hear that Rodgers had a fake vaccination card. So right there, fundamentally, all Rodgers did was say, "Hey, I've been treated," or whatever the words he used. He was um, uh, immunized. That's the word he used. Yeah, I was immunized, but he went through a process. Obviously, like I said, I don't doubt that the NFL knew about it, but he never presented them a fake vaccination card.
I think he might have did because
But they never mentioned it. So there's the problem right there.
For what I'm being told is the NFL, in particular Tampa Bay and Atlanta, were the two teams that were saying you get 100% vaccination through our whole organization. Part of NFL protocols, according to what Shannon and Skip said, is that you have to provide your team with a vaccination card. And they have to look at it. They say now they say now they don't look at the serial numbers and double check all that stuff. All they do is make sure every person in the organization is in compliance. And then they have to make sure those records are transferred, email, whatever the case may be, whatever the process, to the reps in NFL to make sure that everybody is immunized.
Yeah. So, well, see, what I mean is I don't think never heard.
Well, I think that's part of the protocol. I didn't hear it either. I agree with you. But I think the protocols, how I understand it, and I'll watch this again, is that everybody that takes everybody on any team is supposed to produce that card to the team officials. Then the team officials then check you off the list and then pass on. Look, Comet Chat, Bigger Ford, Chris Knight, all check. We done seen their cards. They're vaccinated. They're good to go.
I think what I mean.
You also said the NFL knew, right? So then,
if that's what I'm saying that I don't think he presented him with it, and then everybody else just kind of said, "Well, you're Aaron Rodgers. We'll let you go. Just don't get caught." That's what I think happened. I don't think he presented that card. I think he didn't. He's like, "Hey, man, you know who I am. Come on, just I went through this process or whatever." He said whatever he had to say, and his team and his person let it go. On the other hand, Tampa Bay reported that they had seen everybody's vaccination card and that they had everybody's information. And now we find out that Antonio Brown bought a fake vaccination card.
Yeah.
There's the difference. I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers didn't weasel his way through somehow. But there's nothing saying he showed a fake vaccination card. If he did, and if that were to come out, then yes, they absolutely should receive the same punishment.
Well, one is basically based on what you're saying, and based on the information we have now, it's kind of like a white lie, and the other one is a full
out lie. Yeah.
One is everybody is in on it. Everybody knows you're not vaccinated, but you didn't lie by showing something that said you did. So now everybody's in on it. Everybody's just as culpable. This is straight on Antonio Brown doing it because he didn't want to do it.
Okay.
That's what I think.
All right. Well, I thought that he was up to now, I haven't heard any issues with him, but that could possibly hurt the team. Let me see what their schedule is. But he really hasn't been a factor in the last couple of games.
No, he hasn't.
So that may not even hurt the team at all.
Hey, did you see the text asking for the link?
Yeah, I forgot to send it to him on Facebook.
Asking for what?
The link for the show, Roberto.
He said he got it from you. When he said,
I just sent it to him.
Hmm.
Yeah, I completely forgot to send it to him. My bad.
But I mean, and again, like I said, if you find out that Aaron Rodgers did present a fake vaccine card, then yes, absolutely, they should get the same punishment. But
Right.
again, one crime. Here's the thing: one is a crime, punishable by a fine and possible jail time. To lying to your team and your team accepting the lie or playing with the lie, there's no law against that because it's an NFL rule, not anything else.
I got you. Roberto, welcome. We're just talking about Antonio Brown and Aaron Rodgers. In case you haven't heard, Antonio Brown kind of got in trouble, got suspended for 3 games because he presented a fake immunization card, vaccination card. And by the letter of the law, what we understand, that is a felony offense, was just put in place because of the pandemic. And according to that, he could get up to 7 years in prison. Now, I don't think he's going to get that, but the NFL has suspended him for 3 games, so he'll miss 3 game checks. My question was, this is kind of the same thing that Aaron Rodgers did, but Chris said the difference in his mind, and I'm inclined to agree with Chris, is that Aaron Rodgers said he was immunized but never presented a card. Tampa Bay Buccaneers and also Atlanta Falcons were the first 2 that came out of the box saying that their people in their whole organization from top to bottom was 100% immunized. And according to what I've heard on Skip and Shannon, that NFL protocols say that you must produce a vaccination card, get checked off a list, and that list is going to NFL officials, and then that's how they clear everybody. So even though Aaron Rodgers, as far as we know, didn't present that vaccination card, according to the rules, as I understand it, that is part of the NFL protocol that should be happening on all 32 teams. Mm-hmm. So, do you think that Aaron Rodgers is kind of being let off the hook? Do you see the different degrees in the offense? Do you think that Antonio Brown, his 3 game suspension is enough, or it should be more? What are your thoughts on the situation?
Well, if you ask me, I think Aaron Rodgers lied. Antonio Brown tried to commit fraud.
Exactly.
That's how I see it. And if anyone's to be blamed, I think Green Bay and the NFL is to be blamed in the Rodgers case because they were all aware.
Exactly.
So Antonio Brown was a shock to me. The fact that he lied to his team, that's a major letdown. I'm sorry, Danny, because you could see he's evidently missed right now.
And you know what? It just goes back to showing that even though we haven't heard from Antonio Brown in a while, he's still doing the same bullshit that he was doing everywhere else he went.
You know what I'm saying? Just when you thought he was healed, huh?
You know what I mean? He's still doing the same bullshit, bro.
That is Pittsburgh right there, boy.
But am I lying, though?
But those are facts, Danny. Those are pure facts.
Danny, if anything, Danny, you did bring up a point of it. At first you said, "Is this Rodgers getting specialized treatment?" And in a way, it still is. It is still about that because yes, everybody was like, "Okay, it's Aaron Rodgers. He's not. He didn't get the vaccine. But we're just going to let him play and do what he wants. He doesn't have to wear the mask. He doesn't have to do this." They still did give him favoritism. Mm-hmm. Just not in the way that you presented the question.
I agree. He still got some sort of favoritism.
Yeah, because everybody knew. His team had to have known. The NFL knew, and they still let him go by the rules that he had been vaccinated.
Right.
So, in essence, they just made it so he didn't have to commit fraud.
Mm-hmm. And he had accomplices. That's what it comes down to.
I'm going to do some research. I think that And I want to listen to that show again. I listened to it today. I don't want to say 100% in concrete, but the way I understood is that the NFL protocol say you must produce that vaccination card. It's some kind of federal vaccination card that got two kind of seals on it. And if that's part of the protocol, then Aaron Rodgers had at some point had to present that to somebody if that's NFL protocol.
No, he didn't
I
have
think
to.
so.
Everybody looked the other way and said, "Okay, it's Aaron Rodgers. Don't worry about it."
Well,
Just
somebody checked his name on that box, so that person
Exactly.
is responsible.
Well, they are, but nobody committed any sort of fraud. It's all collusion. Everybody was on board. Hey, it's Aaron Rodgers. He's the golden boy of the NFL or whatever, and they let him get away with it. So that's what I'm talking about. That was the specialized treatment. Everybody's looking away. So if you want to go into that, maybe the NFL should have launched an investigation on how far that went. But if the NFL knew about it, then nobody cared. Everybody looked the other way. So again, like I said, he got specialized treatment. Now that doesn't release Antonio Brown of the fact that he committed fraud, but they didn't do the same thing for Antonio Brown. So there's the thing. There's some sort of favoritism happening.
Well, I don't think Rodgers is nowhere near a repeat offender as much
No.
as Antonio Brown. So, Antonio Brown kind of brought all this shit on himself.
That's true too.
The fact that he didn't have any stupidness happen up until now, it's like everyone forgave him and forgot almost. And then he does this. Like, now there's definitely something wrong with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone questioned the 4 or 5 times, you question now, you deserve what you get.
With him? All he is, he don't want to take the test.
Oh my God.
He don't want to take the test.
Then don't lie about it.
Yeah, just be straight about it, man. How many other guys in the NFL aren't vaccinated, but yet they're still playing and following the rules?
Basically, man, this is Onzo Vision.
Why?
This is.
Huh?
This bootlegging. He just bought a bootleg.
Oh, you saying he bought a bootleg?
How many of us bought bootleg stuff before?
I've never.
Times, but I wouldn't.
We breaking the law, but is it really something?
I did in New York. I was fitting in.
Okay, he ain't the only one on that doing it.
No, because
he been in trouble before.
Ain't fucking putting other people's life in jeopardy.
But hold on, Danny. Our stage is nowhere near the stage this boy's on.
I'm just making
you know what I'm saying?
Just because you've been in trouble before, time is something. Okay, let's say in the past that Roberto been a thief. Or I say me, I've been a thief. Something get missing on your house because I've been there. Don't necessarily mean that I took it.
That's called the klepto act.
Well, people love to jump to that conclusion because of your past.
Yeah, you're right.
Man, you first chose Roberto, who's a black man. You're a black man, and you both made yourselves thieves. You had a white boy.
I didn't make myself a thief. I just totally omitted what he said. It.
No.
I said, why doesn't he use Chris as an example?
Pointed to. You could have pointed. You still.
I had some white friends who were thieves, and I caught them.
This is all hypothetical. If anybody was thieves, I would not even be on this panel.
But more times than not, he's calling out Roberto. I don't know, because of the stories I tell on YouTube. I don't know.
No, sir.
You just look like a thief, Roberto.
Yeah, you and me both, man in the mirror.
Nah.
Don't look like no thief. Don't let no thief be. I like y'all could be somebody hitman. Y'all can fuck somebody else.
I look like the type of dude you can bring home to mommy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think Onzo really convinces himself sometimes, eh? You know what I'm saying, Danny? I know this guy a long time. He really convinces himself. You kill me, man.
Am I lying?
Huh?
Am I lying?
It depends which mom.
Oh. Okay. Next category.
I'm starving. You ate? I didn't.
Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. Right now, Ezekiel, well, they said he's injured, so I give him that. But right now, Pollard is spanking his ass as far as yards, as far as fantasy points. He had a breakout run.
Which someone seemed to have him on his team. And I'm like, when did they fucking pick up Pollard?
Hey, bro. When Elliott started acting a donkey, I couldn't get him. Pollard has already been said that he is the quicker of the two. NFL analysts are saying that. They're saying that who is they playing? I think they're playing Washington sometime in the near future.
Next
That
week.
they wouldn't even play him. They will let Ezekiel um, rest up because they'll let him get the ground and pound yards. But for the breakouts, the easy yards like the first down and the second down, they will use Pollard. Do you think that Pollard is better than Ezekiel Elliott for his performance at this time and point in the season, or do you think that this is just like a flash in the pan, and it's just nothing to really hang your hat on? What do you think?
I'll tell you this: ever since Ezekiel got his money, he
Yeah,
has not been performing.
You ain't never lied on that, boy.
You know what I
exactly.
mean? So Pollard
You
is
took those
hungry.
words out of. I was going to use that as my punchline. Thanks, Hanzo.
You're
Hmm.
welcome. You're welcome.
You're right. You're right.
Pollard seems hungry, you know. Ezekiel Elliott, he got fed. He got his contract. Now
Hmm.
he's just doing what he has to do. But I think Pollard wants to get that big contract, so he's just balling. I don't know, man. I was never a big fan of Ezekiel Elliott, anyways.
I think
Ezekiel
Ezekiel
Elliott,
just took advantage of the whole line.
he did.
Hmm.
Ezekiel Elliott is going to make it hard for up and coming running backs
Facts.
because they're going to look at him getting paid like that, and I guarantee you, Jerry telling his boys, man, I don't know why I gave that boy all that damn money, and he ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Hmm.
Y'all better not do that. You better not do that because they're gonna shit you.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Ezekiel Elliott's making it hard, buddy,
I
for
agree.
up and coming running backs. Um, I never follow him. Didn't he play for Ohio State? If I'm not mistaken, I never
Yeah,
follow him. I never follow him in college. I always heard about him. But in those first 2 or 3 seasons, he was very, very dominating. And hey,
Hmm.
he made you look, but people don't realize, man, there's this certain position on the other side of the ball called a defensive coordinator. And those suckers get paid during the off
To
season to break
game
all your
plan.
shit
Yeah.
down and find out your Achilles heel and find out ways to contain you or slow
Hmm.
you down.
Hmm.
So that's what happened to Ezekiel. I do believe. I could be wrong, but
I believe you one. I believe 100% because a lot of these guys will be like, okay, Ezekiel Elliott doesn't run great going to the right, so if we know it's a run play, we'll try and get him to run that way. And the way they break down some of these players, man, it's
it's
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like last year, Lamar Jackson, that sucker seemed unstoppable.
Hmm.
Now I don't see him doing all the fantastic plays and stuff. I mean, and right now, what's the guy that I like
But I
so much?
think it's more not so much because of the defense against him. I think because they changed the structure of their offense because he's still close to rushing for 1,000 yards, just not relying on him only.
That
That's
could be
true.
it too. Yeah.
I think
Because
that's what I'm seeing this year. I mean, they are sacking him, I think, more than they have, but I don't see they've taken his game away because all of the games that I saw them win was because of him, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Now when he's
because
on, man, it's a long day for the defense.
yeah.
But when
right.
he off, it used to be that Dak would kind of pull him out, but it's like Dak kind of lost some of his mojo these last couple of games.
There's 19 fucking points on Thursday.
I
Yeah.
think he's
Damn
hurt.
right.
I
Yeah,
think he's hurt. And
he
they
made.
don't want to talk about it. They just want to go without the attention. Because ever since he pulled out that game and came back, he's only had really one good game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's throwing like he's missing receivers by five,
Yeah.
six,
Yeah.
7 yards.
Is. Yeah.
That's not Dak.
Yeah,
Hmm.
he's missing
Yeah.
them big time. But you
Just
know
like
who's doing that too?
Baker Mayfield.
Mahomes. Mahomes is missing his receivers like crazy too, man. I'm like, yo,
It's
where
kind of
are
like
you
remember.
passing it
it's
to?
kind of like they got shell shock or something.
Well, no, he's not missed them as much as you think. If you watch the games fully, I don't know if you guys get to see them all, but we get them here every week. What it is a lot of stuff is he's throwing them, and our guys are trying to run before they've caught it. There's been a lot of drop passes, a lot of passes that guys have deflected, and just it. I mean, there are some, yes, that he has flat out missed, but it's not as much as I think some people might think.
Yeah,
I
but
think
it's
with
enough
him,
to
it's
be
more so.
noticed.
Go ahead,
You know,
Anzo.
no, I was just saying it's enough to be noticed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
I think it's more so that other team's defense figured out that they're always going for the long ball, and they're shutting that shit down. And Mahomes is refusing to go with his short game. That's why he
Well,
looks vulnerable. That's what I see. Because
he's started to go. They're starting
now
to.
he is. Now he is.
Yeah.
And now they're on a 4-game winning streak. But those games that he was losing, and you're saying,
Mhm.
who is this guy? And he was in line for MVP and all that. He's still Mahomes, but you can only go deep so much before a defense figures you out and starts playing you like that, and they see you don't really have much of a running game.
Well, we
Because
got him.
that Eau Claire guy, whatever his name, he's in and out, in and out.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris, don't stomp on your guys, but
No.
I
I mean,
don't think anybody thought
Clyde
that
Edwards
AC would be
Helaire,
in this situation.
he was hurt. He just came back. He had
Mhm.
a pretty damn good game the last game he was in, and I think our running game's okay. It's just they don't run enough. They just don't. They don't rely on the run enough.
But
They'll
okay
run.
isn't good enough.
They'll get
It isn't
going.
good enough.
No, it is. I think it is. It's just they don't. That's not their scheme. Their scheme is passing, and they need to learn how to get more of a running game. There's been a couple. There's been a couple games that we've ran and had a really good game, and then they've gone away from it, and then it got closer because we started passing too much. I mean, there were games at the beginning of the season like where they were passing 50, 60 plays, and they were running 10.
And they're losing those games.
That's the scheme though. That's the scheme. They're starting to kind of work in a different direction. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's been a fucked up year, anyways. No matter how or why it's been.
Yep.
Horrible.
All right. Next question.
I
If
didn't
you could
think I
change
talked about
right
that.
now, or you could start the season over, what NFL quarterback would you that has impressed you and you would want on your team, and what NFL quarterback you wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole?
Aaron Rodgers, I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. And I would take Hubert.
Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
But
that
he
guy.
hasn't done all that well in the past few games.
No, the game before last he did. He damn destroyed.
I'm gonna
Pittsburgh.
tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what. I wouldn't touch anyone with a 10-foot pole. This year is so fucked up. It's like just when you think a quarterback is the quarterback, they start fucking up. Brady was doing fine, then he had he had like 4 interceptions in 2 games or something like that. And then you had Rodgers was doing the first game of the year. Rodgers looked like crap. Now he's looking good, but then he went up against Minnesota, looked like crap. Mahomes looked like crap at the beginning of the year. Then he had 1 or 2 games where he looked like himself. Now it's kind of like, okay, it's not himself, but it's not as bad as it was at the beginning of the year. Lamar Jackson's just playing like shit. They're winning, but he's playing like shit. Guy Arizona, Murray. Is it Murray?
Kyler
Yeah.
Murray.
Yeah, Kyler Murray. He got hurt. This year, you could restart the year. What does that going to change?
Yeah, but you can't blame injury on the quarterback.
No, I can't blame injury. But the thing is I can't count him as the guy I'd want in because he's injured.
Aside from injuries, though, I mean, without anybody, for me, it would be Tyler Murray or whatever, because I had him last year. He was a huge improvement. And before getting hurt, this guy was number 1 for MVP running. He was killing it. They were 7-1. He was killing it. Killing it. And he doesn't have the weapons like Brady has, even though he has good weapons. He doesn't have the weapons Brady has. He doesn't have the weapons. Who else? Sorry. I can't think of anybody else offhand that has a tandem of receivers and running backs.
Dallas.
Besides, maybe Dallas, yeah. But Ezekiel,
I feel you.
And what's his face? But see, both they had the best running back on the Cleveland Browns with Chubbs and
Hunt.
and Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
But
They
they got
both
hurt.
got hurt. Well, Hunt got hurt.
And the
Yeah,
quarterback.
Hunt's hurt. Hunt's been out for a minute now, right?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. He's missed like maybe 4 or 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I agree with Alonzo. I'm really impressed with Justin Hubert. I would love to see him in the maroon and gold. Um, but
I would rather see the other guy,
I would not touch Cam
Cincinnati.
Newton with a 10-foot pole. No,
Me either.
Wouldn't touch who?
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
Oh, of course not.
Not because I don't think he's good or don't have talent. His mind is not right. His mind is not in the football mode. If I could go back 3 years and get Cam Newton as MVP, I would gladly put him on my team. But the way he's playing his last
It's not
year,
his mind.
he lost his confidence. I don't know, something going on at home. I don't know. It's that Super Bowl that he lost. It shook him. I don't care what nobody
Affected
said.
him.
It shook him. Then the next year, them damn hits, some boys was put on his ass. So I think he lost his confidence. Add on top of that, he was injured a certain part of the season. It's kind of like one of those thoroughbred horses, man. If they can be good and dynamite, but if they hurt their leg or something go on, they can never race again in the doggone Kentucky Derby. So that is what I wish he'd get back to form, but
Who?
once a horse,
Oh,
Cam
Cam
Newton.
Newton. Overrated.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He had one good year, that MVP season. The rest of his seasons were mediocre. And if he didn't have Steve Smith, he would not have won MVP that year.
Well, I ain't never see a receiver make the quarterback. It's usually the other way around.
Oh, the receiver.
Well, Steve Smith was a freak of nature.
Yeah,
You just got to throw it up, and that guy was catching
I'm not
it.
saying he what, but I'm saying I've never heard when a receiver makes a quarterback.
Now you
Jerry
did, Danny.
Rice, Steve Young.
No, you see, I kind of get what Danny's saying about that. I mean, there was a little bit of the fact that if you got a guy that can put it right where you need it, but it was kind of a combination of both the receiver and the quarterback. I think they made each other. The difference is that Newton, without Steve Smith, he's nobody.
All
I think that's
is when Steve Smith left there, he did good. Cam Newton hasn't been the same without him.
Well, I think we're gonna always agree to disagree on that. I don't think he's overrated. I definitely think that right now, unless there's some kind of miracle, or you can reinsert a personality or reinsert the hunger to be one of the best in the QB, that he's probably done. But and right now his mind is so messed up. I don't even think he could be a commentator. He'd be all jacked up. A commentator, analyst, man. That show be all jacked up. His mind is just.
But there's my question to you, Danny. How do you know it's his mind?
The way his appearance, what he be dressing, and stuff he says in interviews is not of a sane person.
So, Russell Westbrook dresses the same way. Is his mind messed up?
No, he dresses a little eccentric, but when you listen to him in his interviews, he makes sense. Have you seen some of Cam interviews? He don't make no sense.
I don't know. I haven't seen it if I can't say anything on that, but I don't think it's his
I
mind.
can see the eccentric dress, because you might say I dress eccentric compared to what you wear. I mean,
yeah, but fucking Russell Westbrook was in a dress.
Hey.
Is it?
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Is a picture in a dress.
Is it an early indicator of like CTE?
And also, I'm answering that question, Chris, but also Russell Westbrook performs at a high level.
Yeah, because
maybe
he still.
that's
but that's my point, because he still has his skill. I'm not saying it's Cam Newton's mind. He doesn't have the skill
Cam Newton
anymore.
don't have his skill. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. He don't have the skill anymore. That's the reason. It's not his mind, it's his skill. Because that last game he was in, at one point he was at a 10% quarterback rating. 10-point quarterback rating.
But we all know if it's something that we doing, and if we're not focused on something, there's some things you can do operating at 50% or go through the motions. But there's some things you got to really concentrate on. If it's something that you really want to win and be best at, we are going to concentrate more.
Yeah,
And
but we don't know that's not what he's doing, though.
I don't. Okay. I
You
don't
know
know
what I
for
mean?
certain,
Right.
but from my observations on
Okay.
his dress, his play on the field, his interviews, it doesn't seem like something is right. Something is off compared to other professional quarterbacks that I see that don't have that issue. So that's what I'm basing that statement on. Alrighty. Next topic. Okay, this right here gonna be very controversial, but
Uh-oh. Controversial for who, though? Because, you know, I'm
probably,
king of
probably,
controversy.
probably, probably Roberto.
Oh, okay.
32
Better him than
NFL
me.
teams. This might be controversial for Chris too. Probably more so Chris, but Chris Roberto, I think.
Hey, where the fuck's my team?
I don't know. I just pull up logos, and this is what they gave me.
Okay, I thought that was the point.
No. My question is: do you think these teams that don't perform or underperform should be allowed the privilege of keeping a team in their state and not shop that shit around?
Oh,
Because some of these teams, like let me Detroit. How long has Detroit been in existence? They pretty much suck. The Jags have
since
been in
Barry Sanders
persistence.
left.
The Jets. Miami is so until recently. Last 2 or 3 years, Buffalo pretty much stink it up. Now
Miami's
Seattle is
got a
going.
big fan base.
Now Seattle is going through their woes. Minnesota is kind of New York has been bad for a minute. So, do you think that the NFL, or would you like for the NFL to come up with a way that they kind of like do a lottery on this shit? Say, look, man, y'all have been stinking it up for a while. Let's give some of these states that don't have a team opportunity to have a team. I think South Carolina should need to have a team. Hey, I'm tired of having to challenge different states if I want to watch a game. I should be able to go right here in my state and watch a nice game. I ain't even got a pro game, basketball team. So same thing for basketball too. Do you think if your team underperforms for a certain number of years, now I know there's going to be exceptions to the rule because
How
Dallas will
many
always
years?
have that team. Fucking Dallas is America's team. I don't know why the hell why they ain't smelled a Super Bowl in 25 years, but they seem to be the highest paid, highest rated games on TV, the biggest fan base. I don't understand it. So I know that ain't never going to happen. But for these other teams like Detroit, man, Detroit is killing us. The Jets is killing me.
Danny, here's
Nobody.
my question to you though. As
Go
much
ahead.
as Detroit's killing us, why the fuck we have to watch them every Thanksgiving, man?
I don't know. That's a good question. I
You know, like are they rubbing that shit in our faces, viewers?
don't know, bro. I don't know. Some of these old what's the word I want to look for? These old rivalries are just that. They're old rivalries. Nobody cares. Nobody should be Detroit should not be a rival to anybody that I'm aware of. I know back when I was first started watching football, it used to be the Washington Redskins and Dallas Cowboys. That used to be
Yeah.
one of the big
Yeah.
rivalries. I know it used to be Pittsburgh and Dallas, another big rivalry. The Raiders and
Who
the
was their
Broncos.
nemesis in the AFC back in the day? Pittsburgh.
I know Green Bay and Minnesota used to be a rivalry, but
Mhm.
you don't see that now. I haven't seen any new rivalries.
Well, my answer to your question is I don't think that the city or state should be penalized for a bad team. Um, I don't think that's the reason why you move the team because you can move it to like a South Carolina, and is the demand for football there more than where they are at already? You know what I mean? So
I think it would be a good fan base because these states don't have. If we have one professional football team in any sport, I've always like, oh, see, like with all these teams, some states got 4 or 5 teams.
right.
Is that fair to the fan base? I mean, I've always felt a little some kind of way about that. So I'm just
No, I feel that too. But does changing state mean the team's going to be any better?
no, but I mean, maybe you can start some new rivalries. What I'm saying, and you know, with expansion teams, sometimes they get other little perks and stuff that other teams don't
Mhm,
get.
mhm, mhm.
I mean,
No, I'm just asking. I'm not saying no or
like,
yes.
okay, Miami, Tampa Bay, Jacksonville. They got 3 teams.
Yeah, I know.
That we can't have one. I mean, can Sacramento have one? Y'all got 3. So
New
I mean,
York has 2.
I
You know what I
mean,
mean?
shit.
You're
So,
right. I guess it all comes down to dollars.
yeah,
What's the average income in these areas compared to other areas? I
and
think that's what it comes down to.
that's gonna bring jobs because we got 32 teams. So that means it should only be about 18 states that don't have a player.
But why take away from one state and give to another? Why not just create a new one?
I agree with you there. I was just about to say that.
And then eventually you'll have 5 teams in each
So what?
division.
So what's the
Say
question?
again.
Because I didn't hear it at all. And
I was
yeah,
saying, is it
I was
too
asking what the
controversial?
question was because
All right, I'm saying, is it? I'm feeling some kind of way because all states don't have a team. I said, if you are a team and you have a pretty substandard record and you just been sucking for years, like Detroit, the Jets, Miami, now Seattle, uh, should the NFL devise some kind of way where they can maybe put that team in another state and create new rivals? Because some of these rivals that are in place now, old rivals, nobody really gives a damn about.
no, they shouldn't move them. Old rivals or not, and bad teams, shitty years, whatever. No, because not just because of the things like the hold on, I'm trying to turn off this damn radio here. Ah. The problem is that when a team's established, they can be shitty. Doesn't matter. Think about the Cleveland Browns. They were shitty for years, but the Cleveland Browns had fans. They had a group of fans that went no matter what. They always stayed by their team's side. You take them and you move them. You're not guaranteed anything from that area you're sending them to, and all they're going to look at is okay. So you moved a shitty team here. Why? You got to leave it like it is. Like St. Louis. St. Louis wanted to move back out to LA again, and they did it. So you leave it to the teams. If the Jets want to move, then it's the Jets' problem. They pick where they go. But again, like Roberto and Anzo were saying, is if a new team wants to come in, you do an expansion. New team, just add them in someplace.
Yep.
Okay.
I agree.
Well, I don't agree, but I'm only one voice. But now it's the favorite time of the show where we make our picks. Go.
Yep.
Roberto, did you pick the Dallas Cow? Oh, you picked the Saints. I don't know why you even asked that.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on.
And someone chose along with me.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to catch up.
How'd that work for you?
Well, I caught 2 games up last week. Smarty pants.
No, I'm asking about this last one.
That didn't work, but I'm sure I'm going to make some moves in the next few minutes.
Like
Okay.
I said, maybe 600. The worst case scenario Dallas could be by the end of the season if I go against them all season. I'll take that chance.
What did
All
you
right.
say? What did you say, Roberto?
I said the worst I could be is under 600 or 400 choosing against Dallas all season.
Not really.
Watch.
Because
Hey, every year I predict Dallas in November. Every year. And I still don't get my props.
what do you mean? They won 3 out of 4 in November.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
Another one, 2 out of 2.
2 out of 2.
November is their demise. November, December. I called it, man. Okay, they won against a depleted New Orleans team. Depleted.
Yeah, I thought they
Like I saw.
I thought they lost the last 3 games. before
They
New
lost 3 in a
Orleans.
row. They were 7-1, and they're
No,
7-4, 8-4.
Yeah.
We lost 2 in a row.
Yeah, 2
I
in a
think
row.
it's 3. You sure?
Yeah, they won the game before Kansas City. Oh wait, no.
No, they lost 3 in a row,
Yeah,
man.
no.
You better
They
check
lost.
that out.
They lost Kansas City. They lost 2 weeks ago, and then they won this one.
Yeah, they beat the Falcons 43 in week 10. Week 11.
Danny, you took New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chris took Dallas.
Yep.
Week 11, they lost. Week 12, they lost. Yeah, they lost the last 2.
Okay.
They spanked Atlanta like crazy. But now we're on what, week 13? Week 14.
Something like that.
Week 13. Okay. First game is Chargers versus the Bengals.
I got the Bengals.
Roberto got Bengals. All right. Chris, who you got?
Man,
I'm taking
I'll
Cincy.
try for the Beagles.
Who you got, Ronzo?
Cincy.
All right. I have Cincy as well. Bucks
How about
versus
that
the
Justin
Falcons.
Herbert?
Bucks.
Bucks.
Bucks versus who?
Falcons.
Falcons.
Oh yeah, Bucks.
Ronzo, tell your girl to keep that COVID inside.
Yeah, I know. I did.
Does she
Danny
have
said
it?
keep the COVID inside.
No.
Okay, I'm about to say.
Who'd you
Danny,
take,
you're
Danny?
taking Atlanta, right?
Hell no. You crazy?
Oh, I thought you were taking Atlanta.
No.
That's what I heard.
So it was like I was telling you. Fuck, he's a
Yeah,
magician
I
or
heard.
what?
I heard Atlanta. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Okay.
okay, cool.
No.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He didn't. I was trying to get him to take Atlanta.
The Giants versus the Dolphins.
Oh my god!
I got the Dolphins.
I got the MIA.
Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm going Dolphins.
Danny's going Giants.
No, I'm going Dolphins as well.
Are you going Dolphins as well?
Colts versus the Texans.
Colts.
I am going Colts too.
Look at that.
Roberto.
I took Colts.
Okay.
Vikings versus the Lions.
Vikes.
Vikings.
Vikes.
No surprise, Vikings all the way up.
Danny, Lions. You know they got to win a game, Danny.
Shit. Eagles versus the Jets.
The game. Listen, they tied. They tied your team, by the way, if you don't remember.
Shut up. I'm taking Philly.
Eagles.
Shit, I ain't gonna make up nothing this week. Fuck.
Eagles versus who?
The Jets.
Jets.
Oh yeah, Eagles.
Shit. Cardinals versus the Bears.
Cards.
Cards.
Yeah. Cards.
Shit. Cardinals. Jags versus the Rams. Oh, this week sucks.
And
Jags.
Either we're all what?
I'm joking.
Either we're all going down or nothing's changing.
Ain't nothing changing. Fuck. Everybody
Well, I know
picking the
one
same
game where
shit.
it's going to be a change.
Washington versus the Raiders.
Right there. That's the change. I'm taking Washington.
I'm taking Raiders.
You see? Told you, Danny. That's the change game right there.
Go ahead, Danny. Take Washington.
Raiders.
You took Raiders, Danny?
I'm trying to see.
Okay.
Chris?
It's in Washington, right?
No,
No.
it's in Las Vegas.
Okay. Well, man, I I'm going to take the Raiders, but man, I don't know. Washington can surprise them. They can, but I'm going to take Raiders.
I'm going Washington.
Of course, the two Washington fans.
The Ravens versus the Steelers. Ravens.
Ravens. Who you taking, Anzo?
Come on now.
Raiders.
I'm
Steelers.
taking Baltimore.
Oh.
You are?
Man, until Baltimore
Yes.
just, I don't know, Baltimore. I'm taking Baltimore.
You
You guys
serious or
check-
you joking?
No, I'm dead ass. I'm not letting you guys pass me. I'm not. I want to take the Steelers, but I'm not letting none of you guys pass me. So I'm going with the crew.
49ers and Seahawks.
49ers.
Yeah, I'm going
Man,
with
you see how bad the Seahawks look? Damn.
Yeah, Russell, man. God.
Oh my God. He should have stayed out.
Broncos and the Chiefs.
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 KC. This should be a game where Patrick Mahomes gets me a lot of fucking points. If he doesn't, I will not take the fucking Chiefs for the rest of the fucking season.
Hey, Anzo.
Yes.
Did I beat you?
Yes.
Patriots and the Bills.
I got the Bills.
Danny, you took Chiefs?
Yes.
Okay. I'm taking Pats.
I'm taking Pats too. Roberto picking the Bills, he said.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Chris, who you getting?
I'm thinking. This is definitely going to be this. This is Josh Allen's game. If he can show he can win this, then he's gonna shut up a lot of people.
So you're taking Buff.
Well, not necessarily,
Oh my God.
because man, is this in Buffalo?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go with the Bills.
All right.
I'll go with the Bills. I'll play ball with you guys.
All right. And everything is locked.
So could I ask this question? I'm no longer in the basement, am I?
You talking about?
In the standings. Am I still in the basement?
I believe so, sir.
I thought you passed me, Danny.
I don't think so.
No?
You were one game behind Danny, so let me do this real quick. I think Danny did them, but I'll do it.
The last time I checked, I'm at 104 and 76.
104. I have you at 103. Hold on.
I got you at 115 and 66. I'm at 102 and 78. Chris is at 104 and 76. I didn't get Roberto pick, so I don't know.
Okay, hold on. You said you're at 104?
No. I looked at Chris is 104 and 76.
Okay.
You're 115 and 66. I'm at 102 and 78. I didn't get Roberto picks. I don't know what he did.
Okay. Okay, so you're actually at 103.
Okay.
Hold on. Chris is at 105. I'm at 114. And where Roberto's at? Roberto's at 100.
So when I win this Bills game,
I got at least hope for it,
I
because
got one on Danny because Danny took Washington, and then I got 2 on you guys.
I'm 11 games down. Ain't no way I can catch up.
Yeah,
If you have 2 weeks like I had, you could catch up to him real quick.
Shit, I had a good week this week. Only lost 5 games, I think. 1, 2, 3,
I ain't happy
4,
with that.
5.
I'm happy when I lose 3. I think the week before I only lost 3.
All right, guys. I got to jump.
All
right.
Chris.
All right,
Alabama
take it
versus
easy, guys.
Georgia. I'm going with Georgia, brother.
Alabama.
Yes, I'm taking Georgia. I am a Nick Saban fan, but I think Georgia is going to get it this year. All right, gentlemen, we're going to go real quick and we'll see what's going on in your neck of the woods. Anzo, what's going on with you, sir?
You guys know the deal. Bigger Ford Entertainment. We got all the shows coming up, so just make sure you guys check those for the week. Other than that, man, it was a good show today, Danny. Thanks, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Roberto, what's going on in your neck of the woods, sir?
Not too much. I think I'm tagging along in the Bigger Ford Entertainment. So one of those nights you'll find me there hanging in. And when I could jump in here Saturday, I broke all kinds of records to get here just for this 40 minutes I think I was here.
Good deal.
But again, it was a pleasure.
Hey, we enjoy any time you share with us, brother, on this. I'm Danny Graham, aka Comic Chat. Catch me in the next hour and a half on my channel. It's going to be Roundtable, Hawkeye Roundtable, Episode 3. Tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Catch me at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the second edition of Hawkeye Roundtable. Also on Wednesday nights, please check out both these gentlemen on the OOC. The show is fire. I really enjoyed it when they invite me on there, man. So you got a good, controversial, most time hot topic. That is the show to go see. So until next time, we are out of here.
Peace.
Peace.
We ain't got no more words for brothers that be stepping in front.